Perry. I was talking to Perry. There's one organization about the his history organization from Gale Montclair, and that's with Wally some kind of Viola, and he got a big group on Facebook. He got 10,000 members or more.
Really?
Yes. So it's pretty big. There's people in the neighborhood. We just got to hook up with all these. There's a lot of people in the neighborhood that wants to join these groups.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to go live.
All right.
You're live. Okay, everybody, how y'all doing this Sunday, as they say, and kind of chilly again. What happened to the weather? I know for a minute there we were doing a pretty good and had what, like 40-degree weather for a couple days or something. I actually missed it all because I was down in 77, 80-degree weather down in the Gulf, or as Donald Trump says, the Gulf of America. What? Hey, since everybody's just naming whatever they want to name it, I since I was there, I christened the water, took a leak in it, and I called it the Gulf of Steve Robinson. So now on, we will say such things, right? Uh-oh. So what happened, man? I just got back, so somebody fill me in on what's going on around, as you say, around the way. Theory. I forget you guys. Where you guys at?
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
okay. We live? Yeah, I was muted.
Oh, you lost me. I said, I was saying that the weather has changed so to cold again, and I understand it was 40-degree weather. I was gone, and I
it,
said
it
I
was,
was.
yeah, it was last week was nice. This weekend's got cold, but I think this week coming up's gonna be nice again. And then next weekend the clocks are going ahead, so we can start daylight
Already,
savings
man.
time.
Wait a minute. Daylight saving times already? Man, we
Yeah,
got to get
all
moving. We are starting to become a little bit behind here. If the time's catching up to us. So I was saying that I was down in 80-degree, well, 77, almost. One day was almost 80, I think, down at the Gulf of Mexico, um, or the proverbial, as Donald Trump says, Gulf of America. You guys didn't hear what I said, but we're gonna call it I'm calling it the Gulf of Steve Robinson because I had to fish in the waters. I was so close, you know. You guys are.
I know where'd Walter go?
Where you at, Walter?
I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
I just made some cookies.
What kind of cookies?
There's cinnamon cookies.
All right. We got to go
There's
get
some.
some punch. We got to go get punchkis tomorrow, man. It's punchki day.
Yes. Yeah,
Right?
we need to.
Hey, before.
Walter, what kind of punchkis do you get?
The original ones are with plum, but like the like the cream ones or the strawberries are good.
Hey, why they don't make lemon punchkis?
I don't know if they have.
Do they?
Yeah,
Walter, where do you get the punchkis from?
Capools.
Do they have like what part? I don't even know. Over the bakery where they got the sweets? Is that where they sell them or what?
Yeah, right
Or they do
there.
boxes? Like do they make them fresh or do you get boxes or?
No, they're freshly made.
where do
Oh,
you
With
yeah.
the
get it?
really fresh, with the really fresh rooters.
Where's
What did you have
Reuters?
to? The one by Harlem and Grand. Like, do you have to order them ahead of time, or you just or they got some ready if you go there.
No, you go there early in the morning because that place is going to be packed.
So is that the place across the street from the Chase Bank, or is that the one right beside the Chase Bank?
Across the street from Chase Bank.
Okay, so it's on Grand. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Reuters. I mean, there's
What?
this place, Weber Bakery, but that's far from us. That's by Archer. That was on
Yeah,
TV.
that's that's where I'm going. I just
Weber?
got yeah down on Archer and Harlem almost. It's about 2 blocks west east of Harlem.
Well, did you
See
go down there
everybody.
usually, or are you going there just for Punchkis?
Shoot, they got really good cakes too, man. They got, I mean, you could get a really nice, really 3-layer chocolate cake, um, either chocolate cake or vanilla cake with frosting for about $12, $13. You know, 14
Wow,
nice.
that's a
Yeah,
good deal.
yeah, you can get nice. Yeah, they got nice cakes and they're freshly baked too. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah. You never been there?
I've been there once, but it was like, I don't know, 10 years ago at least, a long time ago.
I
Yeah, they
think
have.
there's I think there's a famous bakery by Humble Park is Polish. I forgot the name. I gotta look it up.
You talking about on North Avenue there?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Is that
That's
Rosers?
it's
No, I forgot the name. I gotta look it
I
up.
think I think it's called
it's
Rosers.
it starts with an R. I think it's Roses or something like that.
Yeah, roses, roses.
Yeah, yeah. That's been there
What?
for years. That's old school. Old school.
Man, what are you guys making me hungry now? Fat Tuesday.
Right. That's right. I got to call my guy Ted for sure. His name for Joha Taju. Taju for
Stashu
yeah. He needs to
Stanley, huh?
Stanley.
That's
That's not Stanley. That's Ted.
Stashu.
No, that's Tashu. I said Taju.
Oh yeah, that's Ted.
Taju Patrol. I was like, what kind of Polish guy are you? He said Stanley. If I say Petros, you can't say, oh, that's Michael.
No, Petro is Peter.
Oh, wait a minute. I think we got him now. I think he's catching on.
Who?
You.
No, you are.
What the heck?
Uh,
What you say there, Barbara?
Hey Steve, how you doing?
Or
hello,
should I say
hello,
Baba?
Barbara.
Look,
Hello.
look.
How y'all
Hello.
doing?
I was down in New Orleans this weekend, and there was some lady sitting in the restaurant, and she said, "My name's Cynthia. That's my sister over there. Her name's Baba." I said, "Baba." I said, "Isn't it Barbara or is it Barbara?" She said, "Yeah, that's what I said, Baba." She said, "Well, what you say, baby? You don't say Baba?" I said, "No, not where I come from. We say Barbara or Barbara."
Yeah, their accents are strong there, so
Man, they ain't got no filters, boy. They whatever
no.
comes to their minds, they gonna say it. They might
Yeah.
they just gonna say whatever they see or whatever they do. And I noticed that with most of the people down there, they got no
Wow.
filters. You know, somebody get hit by a car. Damn, you just got hit by a car, idiot. Well, it would be nice if you just kind of say, "Are you okay?" It didn't seem as if you were paying attention. They'll just come right out and say stuff, man. There's just a group of people in the Big Easy. I went to a little Creole restaurant, and it was odd because it was a fast food restaurant at that, and they had good food. Now I got to tell you this much now: outside of Chicago and then New York, New Orleans got some of the best food in the country. Um, Maybe California might have some of the better seafood as you're on the coast. But New Orleans has some of the best foods, when it comes down to their gumbo, etouffee, red beans and rice. They don't skip a beat. It's pretty. And I got it from a fast food restaurant that tastes pretty good. So, you know what I'm saying? Big up. Maybe it's the coastal places, where you got fresh water. And, well, I'm gonna say fresh water. That Gulf of Gulf of America.
No,
Gulf of America.
no.
Hey, the coastal places, I know they have good seafood. You know that. What's the Boston, Baltimore, where there's big bodies of water. Definitely Chicago. But other foods, I can't say that for California. The foods, other than some of the ethnic foods like the Chinese restaurants and things, they have pretty good food. West Coast.
Was it Creole down there?
Burritos. I ain't seen no
No,
burritos.
Creole.
Oh yeah,
No,
Creole.
Creole.
Yeah, Creole. Yeah, definitely. It was a Creole fast food restaurant I was eating in. Believe
Well,
it or not.
what'd you get there?
I got the red beans and rice one day, and then the next day I had the gumbo and some etouffee.
You have any gator or any turtle?
I ain't eating reptilian yet. Reptile hot dog. Nah.
Well,
No,
Walter,
none of that.
did you ever eat an alligator?
No, never. Never
Nice.
eat no frogs either.
What
Now,
about
what
mud
about
bullets?
I had frog legs, the Grand Avenue Shrimp, like by
Oh
Grand
yeah.
and Central.
Oh yeah.
I had frog legs from there once, and it was kind of, they say it's like, it tastes like chicken, but the weird thing was the way they fried it did kind of taste like chicken, but it was like the difference between a chicken leg is like the bones were just totally different. Like you bite into it, think it's like either a chicken leg or a chicken wing, but there's like bones at places you don't expect it, just because they got a completely different bone structure.
Oh,
So you
wow.
gotta kind of be used
Everything
to.
tastes like chicken.
Yeah, I'm eating a frog leg because you gotta expect the bone there instead of over there.
I tell you what don't taste like chicken these days. That's eggs, because eggs cost like a whole price of one fryer, pretty much. One egg.
What, eggs?
Yeah.
What about down there? Are the eggs cheaper or no?
Good question. I couldn't really tell if prices were being boosted up, because prices were kind of boosted up already. So maybe because the places like for instance, we had a 16, not even 16 ounce, 12-ounce cup of ice cream was $7.
What? Tourist
Yeah,
prices.
I mean, my brother bought 7 of them, and like I said, there was some ladies with the. Now get this, we're sitting there eating in the fast food Creole restaurant inside of Caesar's Palace, and my brother goes up to the counter and says, "Hey," and he calls back, "Hey, you want the ice cream, Steve?" And I said, "Yeah." But there was 2 ladies there with these two elderly. When I say elderly, I mean they were 100 years old almost. The man
Wow.
the man was 95. He had a cane. He was moving around. He had an army hat cap on, and the lady was in a wheelchair. And she was 94. I found that out later. But the 2 women that were with them were their daughters, and their daughters had to be respectfully 60, between 48 and 60. So
Wow.
they shout out to my brother, "Yeah, I'll have one." And I'm like, who are these people? Who are these people? Just he was at Dave's, he couldn't even ask me what kind I wanted, and they was like, "I'll take a chocolate one." And I'm like, so he goes, "Okay." So then the sister, "I want one too." Buy them one. So he ended up buying like 4 of them, and then almost 7 ice creams, And
Wow.
the bill ended up being like $35. I said, "Man, you could have bought a whole tub of ice cream."
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
yeah, he only, the little styrofoam cups.
No, is that big?
Yeah, what are those? 12 ounces, 10-ounce cups,
Yeah.
and it was soft serve. That was the crazy part. It was soft serve ice cream, $7 a cup.
What?
Yeah,
They got.
man. Look, I told you, those women, they shouted out, "Yeah, I'll take a chocolate." I'm like, "What? Who are these people? Do we know you?" Look, we walked in the building. coming from the parade, and there was a guy at the desk, and then we said, they I guess it's kind of a seedy area around, believe it or not, around Caesar's Palace. And they have to check your ID. They take your ID. They take your driver's license. They scan it through a machine. I don't know what the machine does with your driver's license, but it kind of, it feeds it through like it's on a production line type thing or something.
Wow.
And then, so they're checking something on your ID, on your driver's license. So they give it back. My brother goes, "Hey man, where do we pay for our parking?" And he goes, "Do you have a card here with the club, with Caesars? Because there's a casino inside." So yeah, I got one. He says, "I have one for, it's under Harris, right?" He's like, "Yeah." So the guy goes, "Hold on, man, I can get you. Hey, give me that thing, man. I can do that." So we walk away from the guards with this guy. He's obviously got a Caesar's Palace jacket on, and then we're walking with him, and he goes and gets me, "Man, you don't have to worry about paying for that. You would have paid $72 for parking, as long as you had it." He said, "But I tell you what you could do. You could buy me a beer." And we're looking like, I was like, man, these people ain't got no filter. Buy me a beer, man. Come on, buy me a beer, baby. Come on.
No filter. They don't want a tip. They just want a beer.
Man. So they looking like, my brother's like, "All right, man." We go back to the restaurant. We stand at the Creole restaurant inside of Caesar's Palace where he worked. And the lady behind the counter, "You can't." She said, "Give him a beer." My brother said, "Give him a beer." Beer is like $9 or something, for regular Bud Light. And she goes, "He can't have it now. He's working." Then he goes, "Yeah, that's right." He said, "Man, just give me the money. My brother flip him $20. I'm like, what's going on with these people, man? They ain't got no shame and nothing. Like, give me that money, man. Give me that. Give me that beer. Give me that ice cream. Give me. Like, wow.
Wow.
Say what's on your mind. Just say it. I guess. What?
But I mean, what they know what it is, what time it is.
Look,
Everybody's gonna come around there.
that's what I know. They know everybody's there to visit, so they gonna capitalize on it.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. If you go any other time, I bet you the prices are a lot cheaper and everything else. But when they know that Mardi Gras hits, that French Quarter, we gotta jack up the prices.
French
Right?
Quarter.
Oh, French Quarter.
Yeah, because it's the quarter. Quarter just means area. Like go back to your quarters.
Yeah.
Designated. Everything's down there is strange in vernacular and terms. Like they don't have counties like we do. They have parishes. So you might be from St. John's Parish. They do have wards. One of the most famous wards is Fifth Ward. Yeah. What else is there? What I found I asked him, I said, "So how's the weather been?" And he's like, "Oh, baby, we had 12 inches of snow. Let me show you." I'm like, "You ain't got to show me no snow. I know what snow look like. Let me show you. You got to see the snow." "Oh, baby, look at the snow on my porch." My porch. I said, "Porch? Okay. Let me see the snow on your porch." Obviously, I've never seen snow before, so show me.
Show you some snow.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, look at the snow." And I'm like, "That ain't no snow." I said, yeah, it is. We don't have snow plows. We had to go rent some snow plows from someone. I'm like, "Get out of here." Then I told him, I said, where I just came from, it was the whole half the month been sub-zero, 10 below, 5 below. You know what they said? They go, "Where the animals go when it's that cold?" I said, "Shoot, I don't know, but we don't. That ain't a question we worry about. If your dog don't come in, don't follow you in the house when it's 10 below, hey, that's on him. He's something wrong. He ain't got the time to be telling him to come in if he ain't figured that one out."
Yeah, that's true.
That was the weirdest thing. They said, where the animals go?" I'm like, "Huh? Good question. I never thought about it. I guess the birds fly south. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where the coyotes and the rabbits, they go in the hole. I don't know."
yeah, they go in their hole.
Yeah, but they just couldn't understand that. They was like, "How did what they say? well, what kind of clothes you wear when it's that cold? I said, a lot of it. You layer up.
I layer up.
All of these
Keep
questions that
dry.
we don't, questions that we never asked, think about. But for them, that's like, oh, how'd that happen? How can that possibly be? Well, people live in that? I'm like, look, snow and cold, I don't even want to talk about it because we get it a lot. On another note, Barbara, you heard about Angie Stone dying in a car accident?
With the singer?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just seen it like on TV.
yeah, that was that. She was in Mobile she was just coming from, and I'm gonna tell you, if she was on 65, man, uh, yeah, they move on 65. Now, hey, maybe somebody can explain this one to me. How is it that you could put a toll on an interstate? I thought interstates were all federally owned. And
Yeah, they
tolls
are. Where was this in Louisiana or where?
Oh, in Kentucky, on 65 going north and south, going through Kentucky. They have a toll there. And I'm thinking, how the heck you put a toll on a federally owned road? And 65, it goes from the Great Lakes to the Gulf and ends right there. It ends at what's that, Gary, pretty much, up north. It begins and ends at Gary or no, Maryville, let's just say Maryville. And then it goes all the way down to Highway 10.
They put a tollway over
Yeah,
there?
they got a toll. And I was asleep. I caught part of it, but I couldn't understand how do they know. Well, they know how to bill you because they send a bill to your house. My cousins live in Tennessee and they got a bill.
Wow.
My brother tried to show it to me both ways. I was asleep. I had fallen asleep. So I missed. I kind of seen the sign, but again, it's on 65, I-65, heading north and south.
Oh, how much is that?
It's like $7 or something.
What? They want to goose you everywhere.
Yeah, but that's not a good thing because again, I-65 is a major highway, major interstate that goes from the bottom of the water to the top of the water, where the Great Lakes to the Gulf. And that's where all the trucks go. And people travel there for vacations. That's the main. So how is it that a state can charge a toll on an interstate?
These states doing what they want to do, and that's a red state. So hey,
well, that's Mitch McConnell's state. But hey, let's talk about his ass, because now he turning on Donald Trump. He talking plenty of bullshit now towards Donald Trump.
Cause he out, he retired. He don't care. He didn't do it when it was important, did he?
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what
he's finished.
Yeah, well, I guess he kissed the ring and then he started talking shit about him. I'm like, wow. Speaking of Donald Trump, I'm trying to figure out what just happened with Zelensky and Donald Trump at the meeting. They start riding on him about his clothes. Hey, don't you got some clothes other than them damn pajamas? Don't you know you come to the White House?
They don't say that about Elon though, right? Elon looking like he just came out of out the street.
Well, I don't know. They felt there was an opportunity to ride this guy, but I like what Zelensky said to the guy that said, "You don't come to the White House dressed like that." He goes, "Well, I guess next time I can wear a cheap suit like the one you have, or maybe cheaper, huh?"
Or he said a costume, or I get a costume.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Wear some costumes like you clowns.
No, you know what? I like that one part about the playing cards. You don't play no cards. It's like, we're not playing no cards. That's what I like.
Donald Trump told him, he said, he's like, look, it's my way or the highway. Then he said, hey man, can we talk about this without the media around? I mean, what we doing here? I'm confused.
But something was wrong with Zelensky. He was puzzled, man. He looked puzzled.
You would be too.
He
If
was
you
dealing with a clown. They weren't serious. And then you ask
He was
talking about his
shocked.
suit, and he stood up here and he defended his country. Major people dying, and then you want to sit up here and talk about this, and y'all trying to showboat and all this, not even trying. That's why I'm glad he left. He left without saying anything.
Yeah, but I
well,
mean,
what,
when he has to
what was
come back once in a, I mean, probably next week or something. Because a lot of things gonna happen. Tuesday, Trump has got to talk in front of Congress,
I won't be
and then
watching
what?
it.
Yeah, but whatever, there's gonna be all the media's gonna be on it, and then it's all about minerals. I've been talking about this a long time. It's all about wealth. It's about minerals, about their wheat, because they're the bread basket of Europe, and they give food to Africa and different countries, Middle East. So it's all about that.
Yeah, he don't care about none of that because it's a quick pro quo. You want him to pay up front for you to defend him, but then you selling him to Putin anyway because you told Putin you out there doing it for Putin. Everything he was saying, they was bullying him on Putin behalf because everything was about you just got to give in. You just got to stop the ceasefire, and that's why we're
I
reporting like
mean, can I
how are
talk
we supposed
about
to
the
stop?
but the history of that? Those two countries, they've been battling those two countries for a long time.
Yeah, but he a
Since
Putin puppet though. He
oh
was
no, listen, during World War II, a lot of Ukrainians died. 20 million Ukrainians died because Russia took all their wheat. It's like a hunger. You could look it up. Hunger. I mean, we have the Polish. We have a lot of stuff like against the Yukis because they were killing babies, and there's a lot. It's very like genocide. It's very rare, terrible. We are mixed in that situation over there. It's what is terrible. You know,
yeah, but the reality is, why can't Ukraine have their own country and do what they want? Why can't Russia keep whatever they got and do what they want, and everybody do go back to what they
but
were
part
doing?
of it used to be part of Poland at one time.
What, Ukraine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you look it up during before World War II, went all the way to Lwow, Lwow city, went all the
Mhm.
way up to there. And
but
throughout history, it used to be part of us. We used to
yeah,
go all the way up to Russia, Poland, one
yeah,
time.
he wanted back. He wanted to get Ukraine back and then come back to Poland. He ain't gonna stop
Yeah.
at Ukraine if the United States let him go through the Ukraine. You think he gonna stop there? Putin is power hungry and he want that land. So Putin ain't gonna stop.
No, he's not gonna stop. He's power hungry. Because there's this, he wanted geopolitical, that would iron curtain back. That's what he
Wait,
wants.
hold on.
All
We
those
got
Eastern European countries, he want them take them over, like he did in Georgia, the country in Georgia. He want to put them under his thumb. The next one will be Moldova. He wants to take over that country next. It's like then those little other countries, Lithuania, and then it's like nonstop.
so
Nonstop.
so I'm confused. Are you pro Ukraine or against Ukraine?
I'm against both countries.
All right, we gotta get rid of you.
Me? No, it's like history. It's just history. Because you don't know what they done to the Polish back in history.
Well, hold on. I got Mr. Glover. He wants to say something. Go ahead, Mr. Glover. So go ahead. You wanted to say something? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I can't hear him.
Oh, hold on. Let me raise this up a little bit more. Go ahead, Mr. Glover. Can you say it now?
Yeah, but somebody else on my phone.
Yeah.
That's your background. You gotta mute. Something going on. Yeah, something in the background is going on. Yeah.
I cut my phone off.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, good evening, everyone. And I'd like to say, a lot of these people don't know the history of Donald Trump. All you gotta do is get a book like Mary Trump, psychiatrist, and we'll tell you about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, a lot of us don't know the same script of Adolf Hitler. Propaganda, falsehood, and sooner or later, as we already see, people start. We are in some serious situations in this country. The fabric of our government is destroying it every day. So he can be a dictator. First of all, nobody ever brings up anymore 34 convictions, 2 impeachments, like sell Jim Shoe. That's for the con man. And for anyone to think Donald Trump is going to do something to them, you got to be out of their mind. In my opinion, if I was a Democrat, I wouldn't even go to the state. We keep going along like a joke. It's not a joke. Supreme Court and everything gives him exactly what he wants. He's not doing this by himself. Kamala Harris told you all that this would happen when she ran. But no, you stayed home. You didn't want to vote. Okay? You go on, and the Democrats aren't perfect. But we always say the Democrats didn't do this. The Democrats didn't do it. Well, what has the Republicans done? Tell me one thing Donald Trump did when he was in office his first year. We gave you a little check with his name on it, which came from the government. See, we're always looking for some handouts. Who's going to give me? Hey, it's time to stand up. Our people have done a lot of things in life for us. And there's still warriors out there on the battlefield now. But for anyone in their right mind, and what he did to Zelensky was just, and him in a little van, was just a tragedy. I'm so proud of Zelensky for standing up. And what he's doing is isolating the United States from the world. The United States may be powerful, but it needs their allies. This has been going on since after World War II. All these scholars and everything supposed to be on this show know your history. Okay? This is not a joke.
All
So
right.
you better get in tune. If you think this man going to do something, you got to be crazy. Donald Trump, first of all, was not supposed to own or run the Trump empire. His brother was, Mary's father. But he was an alcoholic. So Donald took over. Donald's been nothing but a bully. He's the type of person, if you think you're weak, he'll try to run over you. But with Putin, he will kiss Putin, you know what, all day long. And those people don't give nothing about him. I think I said enough. But I tell you what, people, and all you brothers out there looking for reparations, you can forget about that. And all this nonsense that you all study saying, you better get on tune what's happening to this country. Already people have gotten that their little food stamps are taken. And we always talk about the waste. What are you talking about, waste? All the money that they take. These are crumbs that they give the people.
Right.
I think I've said enough. I'm done.
All right, Mr. Glover, appreciate your comment. Anybody got anything in rebuttal?
I don't really got nothing to rebuttal. I mean, we seen his work, like I said, like you said, I mean, my biggest problem is that people got dependent on the government, and this is what happened when you so dependent on a system. And so now that he's snatching stuff and they was crippled by it, it's supposed to have been a step up, not a crutch. And people use it as a crutch. Now he's snatching it. They don't know which way to go or what to do. And I always tell people when he's touching this Medicaid, it's not just about taking people off of SNAP or Medicaid. You know, nursing homes, the paid part of the nursing home for people is Medicaid. Transplants is part of the Medicaid. Dialysis, it's mostly life-saving health stuff that needs the Medicaid part in there. Medicare, Medicaid is a combination to pay for these things. So what happens if you take away the Medicaid piece? See, it's a bigger than just the SNAP and, you know, people owe kids off a lunch. Is that too, but it's people lives that's affected.
That's absolutely the case. It's more so people's lives, the lives of people, and you know, a lot of people gonna not make it through these 4 years. That's the sad part. You know, you were just talking about transplants, and I'm gonna just tell y'all like this, man. It's some bullshit going on out here. I just talked to a guy. He came by the office, met me about an hour ago. I've known him, you know, here and there from the community, few years, and he told me when I was gone, his daughter died, and she actually, I don't know, she was walking the dog out of the house. The dog pulled her and messed her leg up. Somehow she broke a leg or something with her leg, and he took her to West Suburban, and they didn't detect that she had, from the fall, had a blood clot, and the blood clot moved up to, you know, I guess to her heart, and then it killed her. So they did an autopsy to figure out what happened. They figured it was a blood clot, which they didn't detect. Someone told them, you should probably go to the coroners and do a second, have a second autopsy. He went to do a second autopsy. No, he sent the body to Wallace Funeral Home for funeral. And then funeral home said, okay, we got it, you know, we got the body and everything, but they said, you know, she doesn't have a heart. And he says, what do you mean my daughter doesn't have a heart? She's 21 years old. She just passed away, you know, tragically. Like, when we received her body, she did not have a heart. So somebody stole his daughter's heart right here from the Austin community out of West Suburban Hospital, or it could have been Wallace just saying that. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not. And so he went to do a secondary autopsy or something with the coroner, or it could have been, I don't know. They stole the girl's heart because she's 21 years old and they needed it.
Was she like a donor?
Wait a minute. Donor or not, don't they supposed to let you know?
Yes.
Somebody's got to have something written. I mean, the way it went down with the funeral home, they found when they received the body, they had to tell the father that, you know, your daughter doesn't have a heart.
Wow.
Well, they were just saying about those transplants, like you were saying. So when they tell you somebody brain dead, they like, if they brain dead, you would not take organs from a cadaver, because if a person brain dead, that means you cannot use their organs. But the heart has to stop. So necessarily they're not dead, is that they want their organs. So they will automatically right away, oh, they brain dead, and they'll tell you that right away, and then they want to say they want to take them off the machine. But a lot of this is to get people organs. So I'm just letting y'all know it's
But I'm
it's
saying, what? Okay, but it was a tragic accident. She fell because she was walking the dog out of the house. The dog pulled her, did something to mess her leg up to have her to come to the hospital. When she got to the hospital, she ended up dying, or I don't know how soon after, from a blood clot that came from the accident that was never detected. Then nobody said anything, and they took her heart. So I'm trying to figure out, what do you do with the heart if she died from a blood clot? Because a blood clot means that your heart doesn't work anymore, right?
It depends what a blood clot at. It's not necessarily. Not
Okay.
necessarily.
Could be in the medical field. They might take it for the medical field, or somewhere.
Wait a minute.
Well, it's
You
called,
saying
it's
that
called
you saying that real nonchalantly. They took it. You can't just take people's freaking organs, man. I mean, maybe I'm stupid, but
Look what's been going on, like in Chicago. That's the biggest thing now, but nobody talks about it. There's places in Michigan, there are places in Chicago, they're kidnapping people just for their organs. They're not telling you on TV or nothing. That's the biggest thing going on right now.
Man, look, this guy just left my office at 5:30, and he told me this. He lives right here near Central and North, and he just told me this, and my mouth is dropped when he's telling me this. I'm going, what? And then I start thinking back when my son passed. It wasn't even 5 hours into the morning. We getting a call. Hey, want to donate his organs? Come on, come on. I'm like, I tell you what, I'm gonna donate right about now. I'm gonna donate a whole bunch of this goddamn grief and sadness right now. You want to take some of this shit off my hand? Take it right now, because I can't make no kind of decision like that. At two in the morning, whatever time.
Oh,
I'm like, no. Like, there's something going on, man, and you got to be very vigilant on that kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna get a big ass tattoo on my chest. Say, don't touch none of this shit.
just like I mean, what they ask you when you get your driver license. Do you want to be a donator? You want to donate your organs and all that? What they ask you.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably a good thing to donate, especially if you're that kind of person where you feel good about helping somebody. But what I don't like is the fact that we're getting into poaching now. People are poaching organs, and that bothers me to the point
The
where
only
you
way you can avoid that, tell them no autopsy and have the body go straight to them, and you would know if it was cut or not. Because if you say no autopsy, they can't cut the body. That's the only way you will avoid that, because who's going to actually go look at the person and see if they were from the hospital to the mortician to see if they were, you know what I'm saying, food, if
right.
they took anything. But like when
Well,
my brother passed away, he went straight from his house to the funeral home. So I know was no autopsy done. You know what I'm saying? When my brother passed at home. So it was nothing done because they told me, the police, like, well, you gotta get the body to the funeral home. I'm like, what? When this start happening? And when they
right.
told me that, I was just blew away. I'm like, okay, y'all not gonna take the body? Like, nope, you gotta call the mortician.
Now
And
if
it
it's
took 8 hours for them to come. I'm with a body for 8 hours almost. So
yeah,
yeah.
but if there's foul play or murder or something like that, they got to autopsy. They have to.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it's just somebody that they think is just natural causes, they say get the body to the mortician.
Right, right. Speaking of foul play, what's the actor? What's his name? They said they found him. They found him, his wife.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah, Gene Hackman. They found his wife, the dog, two goldfish, and him dead in the house. But ain't nobody killed nobody. So
Yeah,
somebody
they
didn't.
said it was carbon monoxide.
Yeah, right. Why did the fish die then? What the heck going on?
Yeah, how did the fish die? He was in water, right?
Right. Then they said they found a gun next to the dog's right paw, but the dog was left-handed. So what's going on? Somebody,
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah,
come
oh
on,
yeah,
man.
the guy got shot twice. It was suicide.
Yeah, the dog had no gun residue on his paw. Come on now, what the hell is going on? Some of this just don't sound right. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we were talking about Angie Stone. Um,
yeah.
Angie Stone, man, she just performed in Mobile when I was down there. And I saw I got back, I saw the tragic news about the car. It said that a pickup truck, I don't know, must have hit them or something and flipped the vehicle, their van or whatever they had. And
Tour
the crazy thing,
bus.
tour bus. And the crazy thing is, they said there was 9 other people on there, and she's the only one that died.
Wow.
I'm trying to find out what road it was on. If it was on 65, trust me, I see how people
That's
drive.
fishy.
I was there. I have to tell you, people are moving on 65. You know? Hey, has anybody ever seen the wind farms in in Indiana?
No.
Man, there must be 100, if not 200, windmills in the upper. I say between Indianapolis and I don't know, Valparaiso. I don't, but I mean they're everywhere. You could see them, and then you look at the homes that are next to them. They look like little Monopoly homes, you know, the Monopoly board. But the craziest thing about the wind farms is when you see them in the daytime, it looks like a land of giants, you know. But at night, I'm coming back to Indiana, and you see the red lights of the vehicles in front of you, miles ahead or whatever. Then all of a sudden, you see this strange array of red lights, just where like in a panoramic view, and you're going, wait a minute, is that a truck over there? Is that a car over there? And you start wondering, what are these red lights just all uniformly in almost a panoramic view when you know the road is in front of you? And then and then I had to think about it. Those were the lights on the wind farms. And I'm telling you, hundreds of them. So, I mean, Indiana got it figured out. They're really harvesting the wind, you know, and capitalizing on that. I don't think we have. Do we have? Yeah, we probably have.
Yeah, we
some.
have them in Southern Illinois. I go down to Southern Illinois once a month. They have a lot there.
Okay. I mean, alternative energy. Way to capture some of the resources that
Steve, I want to ask you, what is people doing if the fallout of all these cuts and stuff for the community, especially the people? Are they doing more food depositories in the community, or what are they doing to help people with all these cuts?
Well, one of the things that we're still trying to do, and we're going to have some kind of rollout pretty soon, is along with the other organizations we coalesce with, is trying to get $5 to $10 million out to the community from still trying to get people whole again based on the flood that happened in 23. So we're trying to get all that money rolled out and out to the people that have applied or that are still in need, still apply. It's up to $25,000 a person. Got over 400 people that we apply that to, or more. Could be 5, could be 600, depending on if there's money left over. Some people may not need 25,000. Some may need 5. Some may need 10. Who knows? But that's one of the things we're doing. I could just tell you this much. As far as food, we're going to let Barry talk about that, because Barry is I'm going to call her Barry the egg guru right now. He's on his eggs and vegetable garden. Go ahead, Barry, talk about it a little bit. Barbara wants to know what are people doing in community.
Hey, Barbara.
Hey, Barry, how you doing? I hate I've been missing you, but it's been crazy in my life. Life is life.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, there's a lot of life going on. So what we're doing is organizing, people using time as money, as real money, to grow food. And what that looks like is Miss Jacobs, who isn't on the call, but she's got a vacant lot. She wants to start a garden there. And so the notion is that if you want to get a pound of veggies from Miss Jacobs, you would pay her a third of an hour, 20 minutes. And the idea of that is that at the store, you can buy a pound of veggies for about $3.50. So that's, if you use $20 an hour, that's equivalent of a third of an hour or 20 minutes. And Miss Jacobs' neighbor has a rooster and some hens. So if you could get eggs, a dozen eggs at the store for $5, or at least that's what it used to be, you could also get a dozen eggs for a quarter of an hour of your time. Now, all of this is just at the startup phase to try to give people an alternative if they don't have the dollars because of the changes that are going on, prices going up, and so many programs, vital programs being cut.
So, what Barbara was saying is, are there any other that you know of, any other means or initiatives that are going on like that?
Well, I know there are a lot of gardens, and we haven't. We just had in the last Peterborough Time Exchanges meeting. That was one of the topics that we dealt with in some depth, and there was a lot of energy and interest in it. And we're probably going to have a follow-up meeting shortly. So anybody who's interested in getting involved, I'm inviting you. Just let me know, and then I'll connect you. So, ideally, we would have a bunch of existing gardens, like the Dream Team has gardens, and there are other gardens on the west side. Ideally, you would be able to use either dollars or time as money in buying your food.
Right. I mean, let's look at this from a long-term sustainable initiative, because you can't just say, let's do this for the eggs, because I'm sure eggs are going to probably go back to somewhat of a normal state, maybe, if the gouging doesn't continue on like it's been doing, that's been part of our DNA as Americans, gouge prices every time opportunity is there. Hence inflation. But that's to say the eggs get back to almost normal. I remember at one point we were buying a dozen and a half eggs, 18 eggs. It was like $1.99. I was downstate in Bloomington, Illinois, and I went to the Walmart. We bought 18 eggs for 99 cents. So somebody explain to me what's the next plan, because I'm sure eggs are not going to stay a dollar egg.
Well, it's not only the price of eggs; it's also how much money people have, and if they're cutting out lots of fundamental programs like Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and all kinds of programs, and people don't have the funds, then what are they going to do? So the idea of this is if we can start helping each other in regard to food, we can start to have another way of getting what we need and not just be dependent, not become, paralyzed if we don't have enough dollars.
Gotcha. So
And everybody would have a role, because the question is, if you pay Miss Jacobs some time for doing it, how is Miss Jacobs going to cash in the 20 minutes of time credit? Well, if we've got people saying that they will accept time currency for the help, let's say Barbara is willing to do. Now, Barbara's got lots of skills. If she's willing to do some of those for time currency, then Miss Jacobs could ask Barbara for some help, or she could ask a young person to help her with the gardening, so that the time currency begins to circulate in the community, and we help each other. and we help everyone.
Right, right. Well, that's I'm hoping that's part of the initial goal is to try to help each other. But one of the things I really want to do is, man, there's so many groups talking about the same thing. And what I'm starting to see more and more of, everybody's trying to start a group, start a new name, and start a new, and not even a new initiative. It's really just something that's going on with other groups. And I'm gonna start telling these guys, look, man, why start this and do that when all you got to do is just join this group? You know, join this group and help push what they say with the heavy lifting.
Mhm.
You know, let's just help the others. But you know, the name shouldn't matter. It's about the cause and the initiative. That's the big issue. Like Barry, what you were talking about the farm, the gardens and all that. I had and the guy told me, he said, Steve, you should have called me and reminded me to come on time. I'm like, I told you, I sent you the link and everything, but he forgot. But we started talking with another guy from another organization, and they started talking about we need to do something in the Black community. Like, you know, we could get these young people to start farming and doing gardening and this, and you know, blah blah blah. And I'm like, we just talked about that in time exchange. Um, I was with another group. They're trying to start. They're talking about initiatives with the elected officials. You know, primarily the General Assembly officials. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm in a group. They already talking about that. Then why are you talking about this and talking about starting something? And all you got to do is just attach to the one that's there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. By the time you start reinventing the wheel, somebody's gone to the rocket, and the wheel ain't needed. You know, like it's archaic. It's just get along with the group that's there. If you truly are about helping people and being about the cause, you know, for the cause and with the cause, just tie in. I'm talking to Walter right now and Perry, and we're talking about, you know, our group in Galewood and how we doing this and how we should be doing that. And there's another group in Galewood, and we should be. I'm saying, well, let's just start. Just to be honest with you, the Galewood group is the original group, the one that I'm with. No, we just need to be more diligent towards getting things done. Should we attach with other groups? Probably so, especially if they're moving a lot faster in the direction that we're going. If they're counterproductive, we ain't attaching to them. I don't say, and I don't advise anybody to attach to anything that's counterproductive to the cause that you're about. But when you know you're trying to invent a wheel, and there's a group that's got 4 wheels, why are you inventing the wheel? That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
But that's the biggest thing, you know, with the community working, you know, when I first met you and we were starting different projects and stuff, it's just like it was the grab who's going to hold the purse strings, who's going to be over it. People have to let go of egos and think about
Right.
people. And that's the problem. These groups, a lot of these groups have big egos and it's my thing. And it's not even about that, you know? It's about helping the people. If you say you about the community, be about the community, you know, and put
Well,
all those titles away.
I remember your group did an initiative with Raheem's group, Welcome to Fatherhood. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what it takes. You ain't got to do it all. That you don't have to do it every month and have a meeting with him, but at least be there to help do the heavy lifting. If you can help do the heavy lifting, that's all people really want, and then we can get a lot more done. You know, I guess we can get into who gets the credit kind of thing, but you know, at the end of the day, what's more important? That you get it done, or do you get, or who's the person that gets to say that they helped get it done? Just say everybody helped get it done. If you want the credit, everybody name them, put it on a certificate. I don't know, whatever.
Well, you
But
can record your time,
There you
and
go.
then you get credit for it, time credit, and you can use that time credit to get what you need.
There you go. I mean, trust me. And maybe because I sit in about, you know, most of the times when I introduce myself, I'm primarily bringing forth the name of Northwest Austin Council because that's the community where I got started. That's where I have, you know, a lot of my property and relatives and organizational constituents and people I've known for 20, 30 plus years So I'm gonna go with that. But I'm tied to actually another 10 groups, literally another 10 groups that I coalesce with. So I got to do better in trying to pull all those other 9 groups in to attach to others. That's what I'm trying to say. To others that have the similar initiatives, especially the ones that's trying. There's a group now. They're trying to build it. What are we gonna call it? I'm like, the name of a group that's already out there. Worry about them doing all that. They don't practice when they heavy lifting. There's plenty of people that need some help.
Well, Miss Jacobs is on the call, and
Oh yeah.
we were. Yeah, go ahead.
So go ahead, Miss Jake. What you got to say? Talking about,
Food in your garden.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good look. I know how many groups. We got the Harambe Garden. We got the Austin Green Team. We got Good and Plenty Group. We got Austin Eats Group. I know about 5 groups that I kind of, other than I don't work with Harambe. I know of them, but I don't. But the other 4, I know for sure. All right. I know the heads of them. But how do we, what's the word I want to say? Take all that synergy and bring it to something that can, help down, funnel through and help. That's what I'm talking. Funnel through and help.
Steve, you just mentioned 5 groups: Harambe, Green Team, and who were the others?
Austin Eats, Good and Plenty Garden.
Wait a minute, Austin Eats,
Okay,
and
so Harambe, I don't know who the key person is. I know DeAndre was working with them. He has some plants over in Harambe Garden. Of course, I know Austin Eats. That's Ethan and some others that are tied together with gardens and initiatives. And then of course I know the Good and Plenty Garden. That's Arnold and the Redmonds. Then of course the Green Team. Of course we know that was Tina Augustus, since before she had a stroke. She was like the CEO, I guess you want to call it, or the executive director. But I do know that group. They started out in Northwest Austin Council back in '88. Ford Williams and Jolene McClendon. She's a member of that, and I know a lot more of those members. But my whole point to it is, how do we take all these gardens now? And well, I hate to say it, the groups that are not like Austin. No, I'm sorry, groups that are like Austin Green Team and Harambe and others, they need to go to Austin Eats, because Austin Eats is the big collaborative of groups already. So, hey, I don't see the Green Team in those meetings. I don't see the Good and Plenty Gardens with the Redmonds and Arnold in it. So those guys need to just tie into that. Why reinvent the wheel? Same thing with let's say, what's another group? Well, Walter. We were talking about Gailwood Montclair organization.
Yeah, there's the Gatewood Montclair Garden organization, but we don't plant food. We just plant plants.
Well, that's okay. I mean, it's still in the same line of planting.
No, but we should grow. We have all these parks everywhere. We should grow fruits and vegetables. Then we could have a farmers market out of each park, and just give people food.
You can, and I think you can learn a lot from those that have already been doing it. They can tell you what to do and don't.
Yeah, because we got that Sayre Park on the other side. They planted all this prairie. We could use that for farming. You put fruit trees and vegetables, fruits. We go just like a Just like couple acres you could use. You could plant like a lot of food.
There you go.
That sounds great. That sounds terrific.
And then,
Now, what what can pull all of these groups together, I think, is if they'd be willing to um, start using time as a way to get the food. You know, like I was saying about Miss Jacobs' lot, that 20 minutes of time credit for a pound of veggies. So if all the gardens start doing it, then there'd be a lot more food than just Miss Jacobs' lot, and we could use the money earned to hire young people to do the farming.
yeah, that's one way to look at it. Definitely want to tie in young people. That's the best way to gain a lot of traction, a lot of momentum, getting young people involved.
And then the young people would have a relationship with the elders who would know more about gardening.
There you go. Passing the baton, as they say. Passing the baton. Yeah, that's the garden is one aspect of it all, but I'm also talking about organizing groups. Where you actually have organizing groups and everybody. I know one or two. I think it's almost two groups that are out there trying to organize, and they're trying to start a new name and a new initiative, and like, wait a minute, why you want to do that? You know what it reminds me of? just like what you were saying earlier, Walter, about how Poland was part of the Ukraine, or the Ukraine had part of Poland, or whatever, and then Russia had part of the Ukraine. Everybody keeps splitting and splitting and breaking and breaking and splitting and splitting and breaking and breaking. So you end up with just a lot of little broken pieces, and then start pulling away from each other. Then start building walls. Then you lose relationships. But everybody's still trying to get the same thing: food, water, and shelter. So we got to start figuring out how to. What's the word? Is it called? What is it? Congeal or come together or build together. Because one thing I could tell you, one thing I noticed over the years, when it comes to getting people to do the heavy lifting, it's hard as heck to get the majority of the people that want the lifting done. It's hard. You might have 300-400 people crying about, oh, I can't, I need help, I can't. Out of that 300-400, you might have, if this is a big number, a crazy number, 20-30 people. Maybe not even that. Maybe 10, which is not even what, fifth of a percent? No. Out of 400 would be 40. That's 10%. 5% would be 20. 10% would be 2%. 2% of the people out of 400, 2.5%, 3% people out of 400 will actually probably come and do some work. And usually those 3%, those 3%ers are the leaders. Those are the people that are typically in leadership. They're doing the heavy lifting. And then with the leaders, you might get the leader that can go and scrounge up a good 10 people when you need them, But typically, 400 people got problems and need help. You're only going to get, what did I say, 10 people that's going to come and do some heavy lifting out of 400. That's crazy. Well, what do you say? Anybody? I mean.
Well, as people get hungry and they find out that if they want to eat from Miss Jacobs' garden, they need to help Miss Jacobs. I think it can change. And there'll be, food taken, stolen from the garden. So that'll be, we just have to deal with that as it comes.
Oh, food's gonna be moved. People gonna, but we live in America. It's supposed to be the home of the brave and all that kind of stuff. And land of good and plenty. So as far as people taking food, hey, that's a necessity in life. Someone feels they need to take food, hey man, let them do it. Do you get into a big uproar about someone taking some doggone cucumbers or some now if they touch the collard greens now, we're gonna have to fight. It's gonna be some problems. I'm just saying collard greens ain't, you go to the store, half the time you can't find the collard greens. In the other half, they so high. In the other half, they ain't that good. So yeah, if they take some real quality, good collard greens, we're gonna have to talk about that one. We're gonna have to have a guard dog or something then. But I mean, other vegetables, come on. Plus, think about it. If somebody's stealing vegetables, what are you doing them a favor? You keeping them healthy. Because vegetables are supposed to be good for your body, right? That's what I was always told.
Yeah, but as if I pray that it won't come to this, but if there really is a scarcity of food, then we will need people to really work to grow more food. So there'll be enough, otherwise there isn't going to be enough.
There's a lot more to the logistics. Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question. How can we again bring this to the aldermen to sign off? We make this bigger. We could have the parks.
Yeah,
We have greenhouses and all that.
Walter, that's a fabulous idea. Because if we have a greenhouse, then we can be growing year round.
Yeah. Then the biggest greenhouse we have is Garfield Park.
Yeah, Ogden Farm.
Yes. Well, we could probably, they could build a bigger one somewhere in the city.
I think
we can grow small ones, too, small greenhouses. Off people's house.
I think the biggest cost in gardening is the water cost. Cost of water. As far as the structure, greenhouse, to build a greenhouse, it's just mostly frame.
Pretty much.
Whether it's metal frame or wood frame, well, mostly metal because you don't want wood because of humidity. But yeah, even then, they're super expandable. It don't have to put a fireplace in there. Don't have to put bathrooms and plumbing, other than have access to some water. That's it. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Great idea. And present it to the aldermen. I think that might be a great thing to do. Everybody wins in that case.
And then we can also organize to cook the food.
Yeah, you gotta have
and pay 45 minutes for somebody to cook and clean.
Yeah, you need somebody in the supply chain to keep it going. So yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the biggest problems in our society. We've gone from an agricultural society, over 100 years ago, to an industrial society, to a mechanized society, to a technological society. I mean, did I miss one between technology? Oh yeah. Well, what are we now? This is technological, right?
I think we're in like a post-information era, or it's some weird new thing that's happening with so much questioning of what the information is, and also the blending of technology and body parts.
AI information age coming.
Okay, that makes sense. When you said post information,
AI.
AI information, yeah. Uh, well, I mean,
Yeah.
but you notice out of all of those revolutions, I would say, we haven't thrown any of them to the curb. I mean, we still do agriculture, we still do industrialization, we still use mechanisms, still use technology, and now we're just adding artificial intelligence to the technology as it's been industrialized, and we still have to use agriculture to sustain our lives, and mechanisms, which is machines, to help the industry keep going. So we use it. We've just been building off of everything that we've learned and become good at over the last 150, 200 years.
AI ain't necessarily a good thing, especially when you're talking about they're gonna use it for like United Healthcare is getting sued now because they use AI and it denied almost 90% of the claims. So AI is not necessarily if it's getting misused for like credit scores, if people want credit scores or applications for certain things and they let AI make that decision, it's not necessarily good. That's why a lot of claims are getting denied with people, first day medical claims, because a lot of these insurance starting to use AI and not people.
Well, you know what? I think the future of to combat AI is to create an AI Steve Robinson that's got it. The AI Steve Robinson gonna have his own credit score. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it do what it do.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. Talk to this one. How about that? You gonna manipulate something? I'm gonna manipulate something too.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be some manipulation. There's gonna be a lot of it going on. That's all I'm saying. And if you get clever enough, you got to be clever enough to know that my manipulation is a manipulation. Then I get clever enough to fool your manipulation. It's gonna keep going back and forth.
Well, what we've got now is the insurance, like the health insurance, especially there. It's becoming dysfunctional. So we may need to help each other when we get into trouble and build our own insurance support system.
Hello.
Yeah, that's possible.
Hello.
Yeah, Miss J.
Yes.
But again, y'all gonna need each other. Now, I do get what Barbara's saying. If we totally depend on artificial intelligence and not have true relationships, good, bad, or indifferent, we are going to be in a bad situation. Because again, still need relationships in this world to make things happen. Everything is about relationship, right, Beard? I've always said that.
Yep.
If we start to veer and steer away from things that are not based around relationships and just zeros and ones and what is it? What is it?
Yeah, well, that's something I've learned from you, Steve, is how important relationships are.
Oh yeah. And as time goes on, relationships are like credit. You build and build and you know where you're at with or where you need to be. It's a fundamental way of life that we. This is the problem. I heard I was watching something on the internet and they asked anybody born within the last 20 years, so anybody born after 2005, they said, what's considered an old person? Do you know what they said? They said, man, anybody born after 2000. No, before 2000. Some people said 2002. Man, they're old, man. If you 2002, You're an old person if you're born before if you're born 2002 or earlier. Then someone said they got a 19 in front of their whole age. Oh, they're old, even if it's 1999. I'm like, wow. So what I deduced or had a deduction from all of that is we have come so distant. Young people have become so distant from each other. They can't even distinguish what's old and what's young anymore. It's all based on a number. It's not based on a relationship. It's not based on to say, man, you know what? That person's 32 years old and they move and they act like a 22-year-old. Or wait a minute, let me even look at this person and see what I can compare to say how old they really are. They're not looking at people anymore. They're only looking at emojis and they're here it is. These are people that have been born with cell phones. So they don't know how to determine age anymore. I mean, when I was little, and I'm going back to the early 70s, we used to call people, like now they'll say old school. That's not even a term anymore. They call people now old head. You're an old head. Now, when I was coming up, you were old school. When I was a kid, you were old timey. It's like, that's old timey. If you've seen a car from the 30s or the 40s or the 20s, that's an old timey car. Nobody uses the term old timey anymore. They barely use old school. Who's that? Celebrate. iPhone, celebrate. You have something to say? No, maybe. Anyway, Dr. O, what you know? Dr. O, what you know? Guess not. Dr. Raheem, how you been? Talk to me. I kind of missed the program a couple times.
Hey, what's going on, Steve?
Man, I told him I've been down to the Big Sleazy, down to the Gulf of America, as Donald Trump says.
Well, that's Twilight music. What was that?
What was the Twilight Zone? Because it is Twilight Zone. When we just naming places on the world, I told him I named it the Gulf of Steve Robinson. I was down there here, so why not?
That's pretty funny.
I mean, you're just changing names on the world, willy-nilly.
Yeah.
But anyway, what you got to say, Raheem? What you know good?
Oh, not too much, man. Just I was cooking while I was still listening in though. But yeah, man, everything is good, man. We got the symposium coming up on Thursday, so it's gonna be a part 2 of the title of it was your ancestors died for. So like we going back in time because it's celebration of Black History Month.
Right.
So we going back in time that's showcasing some of the people, like the lesser known Black people throughout history. So we started like in the BCs on Thursday. So like this the last one we talked about like from present day to we stopped at Saint Maurice. That was like 200 AD. So now we going further back in the past into the BCE era. So y'all tune in if if y'all ain't doing nothing on Thursday night.
Okay.
Man, that sounds like before the year 2000.
You think they might be considered old, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Hey Steve, hey Raheem, hey everybody. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
What's up, Dr.
I'm doing what Raheem doing, cooking, but also trying to figure out how to get my phone. Once it rings, you can't get back to Zoom. So, but
okay.
Raheem, if you got a flyer, send it out to me. I can send it out to people so they can come and participate, however that platform is. for your symposium, and you guys were talking about food and growing your own food. That's something I really want to attempt to do this year because I think we're gonna need it. And also, we was talking about old timey and the lack of understanding and sensitivity to people at certain ages and certain generations. You're absolutely right. People like you was born before 2000, you old, but whew, that's because of the way we're being socialized. We're being socialized through these computers and phones now. People don't even have relationships like they used to anymore. So, I think that part of that, I just left the DeAndre's opening, and it was really good just to be there and socialize with people and not have to really work or facilitate or do anything like that. And I think it's time for us to really figure out how we get back to that, because I think we lose a lot. We've lost a lot, so that's my 2 cents.
Great point of view. Great point of view. So how was it? The opening it's still going on, right?
Yeah, it's still going on. It's beautiful, actually. It's really refreshing to see that we are really taking some initiative to do some things in our own community for ourselves, and then supporting one another, because that's how we built our communities initially. That's part of who we are. We support one another. We're there for one another, and that's how we can do. Even in this time, because I'm telling you now, that's what we're gonna have to do. We're not going to be able to not support one another. So he's there. He had a business room. He's eventually going to open it up, the basement up. So it's really nice turnout, a nice space, which I will say myself that I am inspired to do more, for not just the community, but for myself too. So I think it's a great thing. And I commend him and commend you guys and everybody on the call that's doing something. They're trying to uplift our people and bring us to a point where we can collectively engage, with each other and build one another. Because together, we rise together. I don't care how we try to get around it. There's no other way for us to get past this. Except for together. So that's my thing.
Together we rise. Right?
Yep.
You know what? Speaking of rising, I'm gonna say riding. What does everybody think about the idea of taking trips?
Yes. Mine is yes. You ain't even got to tell me. Just tell me when wheels up. Wheels up.
Yeah. Look, I got a guy I'm talking with now. He's from New York. He's actually Panamanian and
oh yes, Panama.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been all over the world. And then we were talking about creating trips where we can get groups to go, fly at different locations. We probably won't do cruises unless it's one of those kind of cruises where you got to go, shore hopping type of thing. But just taking groups of people for a week or maybe even 2, I don't know, depending on what the purse strings look like, and create these travel groups with local people, because most of the time local people just don't think they can do that. Right. They don't think they have the means. And the other thing is they're afraid to go places because they don't know anybody that can
go with them. Yep. Right, I go by myself all the time.
Well, hey.
I don't want to go by myself. I'd love to have experiences with people like me, from my community. I would love that.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're talking about. He actually came up with some guidelines of some things. I want to get him on the show so he can explain these things and talk to the masses to get a better idea and get a feel, of what people really want and what they like to see happen, because again, as a community, we can be greater than just the West Side or greater than
that's
just
right.
the South Side. We could be, the whole world and learn something.
That's true. While I was in South Africa, the people in South Africa was like, Are y'all bringing y'all organization here? I just was quiet because I hadn't even considered it. We hadn't even thought of. We have not even talked about that. I was like, I'm not sure. Uh, but it just opened my mind to we don't have to be limited to just here, there, support one another wherever we are.
Say again, Dr. O. The last
I said
thing.
we could support one another no matter where we are, wherever we are in this world. That's what DeAndre said. His is an international effort. You know, it's on the west side of Chicago, but it's definitely an international effort.
Right.
I see that. That's beautiful. You know.
Well, I think if we just put our minds to it, like for instance, you saying going to Africa, you know, that's a pretty expensive trip. You know, the airline.
Well, if you say airline ticket, if you get it right, it's about $850 round trip. If you get it ahead of time and you plan accordingly. So I save every month. Every month I put money aside that I don't touch. I don't care what happened. I don't touch it. And then the hotels are reasonable. So you can actually go for a couple of weeks for like $2,500. Yeah. If people want to do that, you know.
We're trying to get some groups of people to go all over the place. I mean, we ain't got to go. That's a pretty like. That's a
right. You can go wherever you want to go. You know.
Let's start with the states, and then let's venture out to the Caribbean, and then let's venture out to other continents. You know?
Yep, that's right. Like I want to go back to Bahamas and Jamaica. I haven't been there in years.
Yeah.
And people like that.
If you can make it affordable. I mean,
right.
When you say $2,500, you know, for people on a fixed income, because most of the people that will be able to do this are people that have time. You know, and most people that have the time are the people on fixed income. But that's the caveat that kind of breaks what they say, the straw that breaks the camel's back is fixed income. But when you say $2,500, you know, can you afford to save, you know, $200 a month?
Yep. Well,
you know,
that's right.
Or you know, other trips may be half of that, $1,200.
Yep, so, that's right.
And then the economy of scale, meaning that if you get more than, you know, you don't want a group bigger than like 25. You know, then it's hard to manage.
You gracious.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you being gracious, bro. That's rough.
25, yeah.
Yes, that's rough, baby. You got to manage all of the nuances. Now, but unless people understand that you going on your own recognizance, that's a different thing.
Yeah, we might get Danny to come with us. You know?
Yep, that's what we could do. We can definitely do that.
You said we can go to Poland. We can go to Haiti.
Yes, Thailand, Panama, South America, Belize.
Group together.
Yep.
You know,
you're right.
I mean, economy of scale. You know, the prices might even be less than what you think if we get, you know, the groups together. And we don't have to do it, you know, we could do it like once a year. And put it towards like I don't know, we have to figure out the time of the year because you don't want to do it in the bad season.
That's true. That's true. I'm down. Just let me know what I need to do to help, to support, to bring people together. I think that'd be great.
I'm gonna try to get the guy on so we can talk about that. You
know? What about starting with local trips?
Yeah, that's true too.
And the opposite of local trips is we start local trips, but we also encourage people who come as tourists, like to the McCormick Center and Navy Pier and other places, encourage them to go on a tour of the West Side.
Uh-huh. I think that would be
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, we could do that. Stop
I think that's beautiful.
on the west side. I mean, wait a minute. What kind of tour you gonna do on the west side, Barry? I'm a little lost.
Restaurants, parks,
Okay.
beautiful
Historical sites. Yep.
beautiful houses, people doing new things like
Yeah.
DeAndre's new place, and just
NAC.
NAC. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Have a
Put
little
up,
a brunch or something.
yeah, great. Meet local people.
And then take them around the city too to see different
Yeah.
things. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Get some barbecue.
Yeah,
Yes. Come on. I love it. Who talking about barbecue?
Me, Walter.
All right, Walter. Do you cue?
Yep. I want to
All
go
right,
to
Walter.
I want to go to the south side, Leams. It was on TV. I want to go there.
Okay. Hmm.
That'll be good.
Some
Church. But yeah, y'all, let's do it. I'm gonna definitely get with the guy. I think you met him. He was on the show a couple weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago. His name was Kai Killian. Um, been talking about doing this kind of travel group thing. Like you said, there's a lot just to do in the west side, the city at large, the suburbs, and however, it's you just venture out. And you know what? That's the way you do it. You start small and then you let people know, okay, the next year you save a little bit more money. We're gonna do this. Next year save a little. You might do the small events twice a year, you know. As you start spending a little bit more money, you do one of those a year locally, then you do one that's outside. No, that might do the East Coast event, something like that. And then you start working your way offshore to the islands and different areas. Shoot, Barry's what's it called? Dominican Republic aficionado. I think Barry's his half Dominican. Where he hangs out there. He hangs out in the DR. No? Who's been to the DR that's on the show?
I've been there. I've been to
You have?
Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that, Tony. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I've been there. Yeah. Have you guys heard about the Legacy Museum in Montgomery, Alabama?
Yeah, I was just in Montgomery 2 days ago.
Yeah. So I think that would be a nice place to go.
There you
Spend a
go.
day. All right.
Absolutely. We got a lot of great locations to go and visit. Alabama has quite a few sites that you can go to. Huntsville, where they have the Aerospace Museum there. Get down to the Gulf Coast, which is Mobile and Biloxi and Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast is the actual town. New Orleans. There are a lot of things to do. You don't have to necessarily go around Mardi Gras times, but there are quite a few things to do. I mean, we hung out just at the Hard Rock Cafe and the hotel next door, the Beau Rivage, and I mean they got world-class dining. If you like gambling, it's right there. If you like fishing, if you like just hanging out at the pools and everything. They literally have everything. I saw a strip mall that looked like an outlet store. They had Express, Coach. I'm like a lot of these stores that I haven't seen in years, but they were all like an outlet. Looked like up to date, modern looking. But again, start local and venture out. You might even go to the Civil Rights Hall of Fame Museum once Bill Thurman gets through building it. Check him out. You know about Bill Thurman?
I don't. Who is he?
Bill Thurman is the gentleman that's in charge of the the Civil Rights Hall of Fame event that's done every year. Congressman Davis is involved, and many others. There's a lot of West Siders that are involved. But no, you know them, Tiny. You've been to the event before out south. They used to be at Holy Angels.
With the yellow jackets?
Yeah, the jackets, right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
Hey, so where you at, Brick?
No, I didn't go tonight. I had some work to do.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just staying here.
Is it going on tonight?
Yeah, it's going on.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nevertheless, only the best. Don't want nobody to stress for the rest. So we're gonna wind down the show, y'all, because I gotta make some moves. I want to go check out DeAndre, see what's going tonight. I might even make down to his open house on Madison. DeAndre's Dr. Buddhist, as we say, Dr. Dre, open house of his new facility and his he lives upstairs, home. So to say. Where is it? What's the location of 50? What's the address again? Anybody? 5033.
I can't tell you the exact address, but I know it's there. It's across from McDonald's.
Yeah, it's across from the McDonald's there. That's not the McDonald's that Willie Wilson is on, right?
Woo. It's on Madison, right after a little bit.
Wait, I'm looking it up right now.
McDonald's between Madison and Cicero.
It's located at 5044 West Madison. That's
yep.
Open house. It goes to 5 and 10. Gonna see what the until. He opened up like a business. What is it? A business center?
It's a business center. Yep.
Yeah, that's what he called it, a business center, and doing this thing. So we check them out. So let's go around the room, y'all, as we close out the show. What you got in conclusion, Barry?
Food, travel. That's it. Food and travel.
That's that food and travel, but don't let the food travel up out of you if you turn on.
Yeah, that's right.
Flipping. Look.
Yeah.
You on one of these planes that's flipping over and sliding down runways. Look, I'm down in Mississippi, and I look on the TV and they say a plane at Midway Airport almost hit another plane, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh man, this crap coming to Chicago. So,
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. O. What you got?
For me, always is that we are better together. We rise together. Let's support each other in every way we can. And let's intentionally look for ways to support one another and support each other in this time. And not just in this time, but also pass it down, pass the baton for others. So that's my thing.
You got to look at passing that baton quick. One thing we ain't got a lot of time to exchange. Time. So that moves forward. All right, y'all. Who celebrate? Who's that? Anybody want to add to the show in conclusion? Go ahead. Go ahead, Walter. You got something in conclusion?
Yeah. Let's be safe this summer. Let's grow a lot of food.
Okay.
That's about it.
How about you, Perry? Pericles, where are you? What you got in conclusion? Anything, any attorney news you want to tell us? Anything you want to advertise, let people know what you do? Yeah, this is a good time to let people know what you do, Perry. Go ahead, because people, they need that. Perry Abasi. All right, we'll come back.
Hey, this Raheem. I just want to second what Dr. Orr said. Yeah, let's support each other, protect each other.
All right.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. I just been thinking about how Trump has been destroying the United States, and he's doing some great things, tearing up the FBI. They never did anything for the people but spy on us and give us COINTELPRO, and how he's if you can't beat them, join them. He couldn't beat Russia because of BRICS, Britain, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And so he's trying to join them, But I think we're seeing the end of the United States, thanks to Trump.
I mean, look, we are broke, aren't we?
I drove through Kentucky about a day or two ago. I saw Fort Knox. It's still there. They got to go somewhere. Don't let
Yeah.
them
But in Africa, a lot of those African countries are turning against the Europeans, like that Unabasa. This guy kicked France out because France had been mistreating them. They got an electric car there. What's this other one?
They say something, though they have China's there now, aren't
yeah.
they?
Yeah, well, China,
You just
South Africa, India, Russia, and Brazil, they're BRICS. They have another economy going.
Alan.
Yes,
Listen,
sir.
you should read this book about John Perkins. You'll love it.
What's the name of it?
Economic Hitman. John Perkins is the author.
Mm-hmm. Economic Hitman, huh?
Yeah, it talks about loans, other country getting loans out that they cannot pay. And it talks about South America, Africa, all these different countries, Asia even. This is a very good book. Interesting.
Okay, what was his name again?
John Perkins.
Okay.
Yeah, his job was to go to like these different countries, developing countries, and kind of sabotage them economically.
Okay.
And then China's in Africa right now building power stations. I think they're in Mexico right now building those trains. They're building dams. They're all over the world. They're they got military.
Still on the podcast.
They got military bases. So the USA. So I look at the global scale. I look at everything.
Okay. Well, all right, y'all. Miss Jacobs, I think she stepped off, but we're gonna go ahead and conclude the show so I can get on and get some things done up out of here. As DeAndre always says, they didn't want to invite us to the table, so we had to create our own. So next time, I want to see y'all and welcome y'all back to Northwest Austin Council. Good night, y'all.
God bless everybody.
Yeah,
don't forget,
thank you, Steve. I've been on the phone a lot, but thank you.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Walter. I mean, not Walter. Perry, you want to add something to the
Bless
end
you
of the show?
I'm not sure what everyone was talking about because
No,
I've been on the
next
phone.
time
So
you
it's
can
like,
tell people what you do because people need to know. Perry's a real estate attorney, so you guys need to know that so he can.
yeah, I'm a real estate attorney, and one thing was the assessor with Steve's building. They were gonna like triple the taxes on it, but I helped them with that, so they got it fixed. And actually, the tax bill is going to be lower this year than last year. So that's something I do is real estate taxes. So
Right.
yeah, you can, anyone listening, if you want to reach out to me, my number is 773-368-5423. My email is chicagolaw@yahoo.com, or if you just ask Steve, he can
Right,
get you my contact
I can
information.
get you that. That's right. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.